Now, it could be me not really paying attention, but I believe we've seen a lack of music merch bundles within the first week of an album release in 2021, or more of a drop than compared to 2018 through 2020. Of course, I believe it was within the last year, Billboard changed the rules to how you're able to bundle music and merch. So, for example, we're going to use Travis Scott since Astroworld was the one that really kicked this issue off into the mainstream recently in the past couple years. And that was that he sold, t-shirts, hoodies, and also bundled digital albums with the sales. And the argument could be made that having music attached to merch without having the album separate or at a higher price is going to inflate the numbers because people aren't really caring to buy the music, they're caring to buy the shirts. And regardless of that, we've seen this instances with brands like VLone teaming up with an artist for their music release first week, and of course having those numbers bundled in will show off a higher first week sale, which is great if you're going for chart positioning, if you're going for media recognition, all sorts of things. And Billboard had enough of that. They basically saw the inflated difference, and I'm not able to find concrete statistic numbers or statistics on these numbers to show just exactly how much of a difference was there from just typical music streams, albums being bought, to the bundles being bought along with the album. But it was significant enough to where Billboard implemented new rules. Of course, if you're going to bundle an album with merch, you have to have a standalone option. If you're going to bundle an album with merch, it has to be at least an extra $3.50 than a standalone. So there is going to be a price difference. There isn't a same price. And you could be like, well, why not get the album plus the merch if it's the same price? Of course, if it is a physical copy, it's not going to be counted as if you purchase the merch, that they're not going to count the physical sale that same instance. You're going to have to wait until the music gets delivered. And then once it is delivered, that's whenever it will be counted towards a sale. And usually that's going to be after the first week. And if it's digital, it's not going to count unless it's redeemed. Now, I believe with these changes, it didn't stop artists from doing, merch still, and along, being able to have a bundle. However, the amount of options or just even having shirts by themselves, you definitely didn't see that up until the rule change. So, because why not rack up the sales? Why not rack up the extra coverage that you could get from having high sales? And that's something that in 2021, I'm not saying every artist should be doing 100,000. At the end of the day, the label ain't doing the work and the album sucks, you get low numbers, it is what it is. We've seen it recently with Roddy Ricch, which caught everybody's eye. His last album before Live Life Fast, 100 plus. This Live Life Fast, 60 something K. I believe if he bundled it with merch, we would have got a decent 10K out of that, 10 extra, what's it called? Sales. There we go. 10K extra sales. But overall, if the album isn't good, there's only so much you can do. And yeah, again, I just seen a lack of that in 2021. And I'm not saying the rule is going to change back or anything, but just something I noticed and that isn't really being talked about. If anything, most people are quick to say, well, the artist just fell off. And in some cases, that's true, It's okay not to say it's okay for an artist to fall off, but you have to understand, if you don't already, that not everybody is meant to stay in the music scene for 5-10 years and sell ridiculous numbers. It is natural for a fall off to occur. You hear J. Cole preach about it. It happens. Now, this isn't to deal with merch bundles, but something else. Whenever there's this hype about first week sales, it's not the end of the world if you don't chart or if your album isn't number one. Ultimately, the quality of the album, you've already heard me say it before, you get it. The album that stands the test of time. But I think a great example would be Planet Her. First week, 100,000 something, 100,000 and some change for Doja Cat, highest selling album she's ever had. And for, depending on who you ask, was it a flop being pushed by a major label? That's subjective. That being her highest charting album, great. But here we are at the end of 2021, and I believe it's already sold close to, if not more than 2 million units. So you don't have to have a crazy first week number and in order to finish the year strong. We're seeing it with Planet Her doing great. I mean, for crying out loud, My Turn by Lil Baby, and I believe Shoot for the Stars, Aim for the Moon, they're on their way for, if not already, a million plus for the year. And those albums released last year. So for those of you that are stuck in the, first week sales, I mean, everything's, let's stop that. Or of course, be able to understand there's a lot more that goes to it besides this. I wanted to, finish off 2021 with another episode, a quick one. And we're going to continue putting the same pressure into 2022. Thank you guys for tuning in. I'll catch you next time.